All right, so Manus AI.
Uh,
I know you've been hearing all this buzz, and honestly, I'm right there with you. Definitely intrigued, but also a little skeptical.
Yeah.
And ready to like dig a little deeper into this thing.
Yeah, for sure.
We've got some interesting articles from South China Morning Post and Newsweek to look through.
Hmm.
So are we looking at another DeepSeek moment here? Like a potential shakeup of the entire AI landscape?
Well, the comparisons to DeepSeek are definitely popping up everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, remember how that Chinese AI model kind of came out of nowhere back in January and
Yeah.
kind of just surprised everyone with its capabilities and how affordable it was?
Right.
Manus seems to be generating that same kind of energy for sure.
Yeah, it really does. And like everyone woke up and suddenly there's this new AI on the block claiming it can build websites from scratch, plan your entire Japan trip,
Oh, yeah.
and give you the rundown on Tesla stock, like all while you sip your coffee.
Right?
Seriously though, is this thing for real?
Okay, so let's break down what Manus actually claims it can do. So it's not just spitting out answers like your typical chatbot.
Right.
The developers are calling it an autonomous agent.
Okay, so break that down for me. What makes it so different from like the AI we're already using?
Well, most AI today is reactive.
Okay.
You ask it a question, it searches its database,
Right.
gives you an answer.
Yep.
Manus's is proactive. It sets its own goals based on your instructions and then figures out how to actually achieve them.
So it's not just thinking, it's actually doing.
Exactly. And the Newsweek article quotes Zhihao Manus's creator as saying, it doesn't just think, it delivers results. And that's a pretty bold statement.
It is a very bold statement.
Yeah.
So if I told Manus, hey, analyze Tesla stock for me, it wouldn't just show me like stock prices or something, right?
Right. It could go way beyond that, like cross-reference all this financial data with news on Tesla's, supply chain practices, factor in the projected impact of their new solar roof tech, all to give you a truly informed recommendation, based on what you actually care about.
Wow, okay. I'm starting to see why people are calling this a potential game changer. But let's be real here. There's also a lot of skepticism swirling around.
Oh, yeah.
Server issues, limited access, even a suspended X account. What's the deal with all that?
Yeah, those are some red flags worth discussing for sure.
Yeah.
Access to Manus has been extremely limited.
Okay.
It's invite only right now.
Really?
And get this, people are actually selling invitation codes online.
Hold on, seriously.
Yeah.
Like people are buying and selling invites like it's a concert ticket or something.
It's wild, right?
Yeah.
Some people are actually accusing the Manus team of scarcity marketing, like a deliberate strategy to build hype.
Interesting. But to be fair, Manus AI's product partner Zhang Tao explained that the limited access is due to genuinely limited server capacity.
Right.
They apparently weren't prepared for such a huge public response. The South China Morning Post even quoted him as saying the current version is still in its infancy.
Yeah, and then there's the whole X account suspension.
Right.
Co-founder Ji Yak claims they're working to resolve it, but it definitely adds to the air of mystery surrounding all this.
For sure.
Is it a technical glitch? Are they trying to lay low? Or is there something else going on?
Okay, I'm getting major mixed signals here.
Yeah.
Part of me is thinking, this could be brilliant marketing, right?
Yeah.
Generate massive FOMO, get everyone talking.
Sure.
But then there's also the possibility that they really did bite off more than they can chew, technologically speaking.
Right.
What's your take on all this?
Well, it's too early to say for sure.
Yeah.
Startups often hit technical snags,
Sure.
especially with a sudden surge in demand.
Yeah.
But the X account suspension is a bit odd.
Right.
So I think it's smart to consider all the angles here and not just jump to conclusions.
Right, because even with all this chaos, the potential of this technology is huge.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And it seems to connect to this larger trend in AI, this move toward general purpose agents.
Absolutely. And if Manus even comes close to fulfilling its potential, it could accelerate that trend significantly.
Okay, so what exactly is a general purpose agent and why should we care?
Well, think about planning a vacation. Right now, you're probably using separate apps for flights, hotels, restaurants, activities, all that stuff.
Right.
A general purpose agent would be like having a super efficient AI-powered personal assistant.
Okay, so I could just say to Manus, like, Manus planned me a relaxing week in Italy, and it just handles everything.
Exactly. Bookings, budget recommendations for hidden gem restaurants based on your preferences, all without you lifting a finger.
Wow.
And that's just one example.
Right.
The possibilities are pretty mind-blowing, but of course with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah, I was just going to say that sounds incredible, but what about the potential downsides?
Yeah.
Job displacement, for example. Are we talking about robots taking over the world, or is that just the Hollywood version?
It's a valid concern, and the truth is probably somewhere in between. We've seen throughout history that technological advancements often lead to changes in the job market. Some jobs become obsolete, but new ones emerge.
So it's not necessarily about robots taking over, but rather how humans adapt to this new landscape.
Precisely, and that's why it's so important to have these conversations now, to think critically about the potential impact and how we can shape a future where AI actually benefits everyone.
Okay, so we've got this potentially groundbreaking AI agent,
Right.
but it's shrouded in mystery and skepticism.
Yeah.
We've got server issues, suspended accounts, black market invites. Is this genius marketing genuine growing pains or a sign of something more troubling? What are we to make of all this?
That, my friend, is the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
And to get closer to an answer, we need to delve into the bigger picture. What's really fascinating here is that Manus, regardless of whether it succeeds or fails, points to a larger trend in AI.
Okay.
This increasing accessibility of powerful AI tools.
So we've got everyone from tech giants to scrappy startups all racing to develop these advanced AI agents.
Right.
What does that mean for the average person, though?
Well, think about it this way. A few years ago, creating a website required coding knowledge, design skills, maybe even hiring a professional.
Right.
Now you can just tell Manus, build me a website about my pottery, and boom, it's done.
Wow.
That's a level of power and accessibility we've never seen before.
Okay, that's pretty cool. But, I can already hear some people saying, but what about human creativity? Are we just going to let AI take over everything?
That's a fantastic question.
Yeah.
And it gets to the heart of what makes this technology so fascinating.
Okay.
It's not just about automating tasks, it's about augmenting our own capabilities.
So instead of replacing human creativity, it could actually enhance it.
Exactly. Imagine a musician collaborating with Manus to compose a symphony, or a writer using it to brainstorm plot ideas or generate different writing styles. It's like having a creative partner who can explore endless possibilities, pushing the boundaries of what's even possible.
That's a much more optimistic take than the whole robots are coming for our jobs scenario.
Right.
But let's be real, there are bound to be some jobs that AI can just do more efficiently than humans, right?
You're absolutely right. And that's why it's so crucial to think about the implications for the future of work.
Yeah.
We need to focus on developing skills that complement AI.
Okay.
Skills that require uniquely human qualities like critical thinking, emotional intelligence, complex problem solving.
So maybe instead of fearing AI, we should be focusing on how we can leverage its power to create a better future.
Exactly. It's about finding the right balance, understanding where AI excels and where human ingenuity shines brightest.
Right.
And that brings us back to Manus. Even with all the hype and skepticism surrounding it, the fact that a relatively small team could develop such a sophisticated AI agent is a testament to how rapidly this field is evolving.
It makes you wonder what's next, right?
Yeah.
What if Manus is just the tip of the iceberg?
It's certainly possible we might be on the cusp of a whole new era of AI, where these incredibly powerful tools become increasingly integrated into our lives.
And that's where the conversation gets really interesting. What are the potential implications of this technology, both positive and negative?
Well, on the positive side, we could see breakthroughs in all sorts of fields, from healthcare to education to environmental sustainability.
Okay.
Imagine AI agents helping doctors diagnose diseases with greater accuracy, personalizing learning experiences for every student, or developing innovative solutions to combat climate change.
Okay, that all sounds pretty amazing. But, there are always going to be people who are just wary of AI, right?
Right.
They'll bring up things like privacy concerns or the potential for misuse.
Right. Those are legitimate concerns that we need to address head on. As with any powerful technology, there's always the risk of it being used for malicious purposes.
So how do we navigate those risks while still embracing the potential benefits?
That's the challenge, isn't it? It requires a multifaceted approach. We need robust regulations and ethical guidelines to ensure that AI is developed and used responsibly.
I mean, we need guardrails.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also a sense of optimism, right?
Yeah.
Because getting stuck in that fear of what if AI goes wrong could also make us miss out on some incredible opportunity.
Exactly. It's like anything else, right?
Yeah.
Fire, electricity, even the internet itself.
Right.
These new tools can be used for good or bad, but it's up to us collectively to guide that trajectory.
But back to Manus specifically,
Yeah.
Aside from the tech itself,
Yeah.
the whole thing is just so fascinating from a storytelling perspective.
Oh, yeah.
This underdog team, the meteoric rise, the drama, with the X account,
Mm-hmm.
it's like something out of a movie.
Right. It's got all the elements of a classic tale.
Yeah, it does.
And it's all playing out against the backdrop of this global AI race, with the US and China vying for dominance.
Right.
Remember, the Newsweek article even described the launch of DeepSeek as a Sputnik moment for US AI development. Manus could be another major twist in that whole narrative.
Okay, so big picture time. If Manus really delivers on its promises, what could it mean for, your work, your life, the future as a whole?
That's a question worth pondering for sure.
Yeah.
Imagine a world where these AI agents become as commonplace as smartphones.
Okay.
They could handle our schedules, manage our finances, even help us learn new skills.
Yeah.
We could have more time for creativity, for meaningful relationships, for the things that truly matter.
But couldn't that also lead to a sort of over-reliance?
Yeah.
Like what happens to our own problem-solving skills if we're constantly outsourcing them to AI?
That's the key, isn't it? Finding that sweet spot between leveraging AI strengths and maintaining our own human agency. It's not about letting AI take over. It's about using it as a tool to enhance our lives.
Okay, so as we wrap up our Manus deep dive, what's the takeaway for our listeners today? We've got this potential revolution on our hands, but it's wrapped up in all this uncertainty and a whole lot of hype.
Yeah, I think the key here is to approach all this with a sense of informed curiosity. Don't just believe the headlines, whether they're overly optimistic or doom and gloom.
Right.
Dig deeper, ask questions, and most importantly, be part of the conversation.
Because this is just the beginning of the Manus story.
Right.
Who knows what the next chapter will hold?
But is that...
Maybe they'll overcome the technical challenges and become the next big AI giant, or maybe they'll just fade into obscurity.
Yeah.
Or maybe something entirely unexpected will happen.
And that's what makes this field so exciting.
Yeah.
The future of AI is still being written, and we all have a role to play in shaping it.
So true.
So stay curious, stay engaged, and keep exploring the possibilities.
Perfectly said. And hey, if Manus does turn out to be the next big thing, you heard it here first on The Deep Dive.
That's right.
Until next time, keep diving deep.